Alright, so you guys are level 10 characters, which means you guys are seasoned adventurers. You found yourselves sort of washed up in this little podunk town, where there's not much going on. Every day you guys have come down and checked the board, see if there are any jobs available, and it's just been nothing. Nothing except for a pretty trivial goblins have been stealing from the fringe town. Please, can somebody put a stop to these horrible, terrifying, all-powerful goblins? And you guys are like, goblins, that's child's play. That's not worth it. But the days have been traveling onward. They've been marching onward with no particular uptick in activity. And you're starting to run low on money, and you don't really have enough money to get to another bigger town where there's more stuff going on. So at this point, the goblin job is starting to look a little bit more inviting. That's the setup.
So we've all come to the tavern where it says to come to for the goblin job?
Yep. What exactly am I looking at here? Here's a good question. You guys come down the stairs initially. What do your characters... Describe your characters.
Could I start?
Sure.
In case you were looking at or Steady Slash, a noble Minotaur warrior who's slowly got into the Gladiator trade and is working his way around the continent, picking fights in very prestigious, working towards the very prestigious Colosseum that he will one day fight in. He is, of course, walking around with his trident of fish command that he won when he won the competition of gladiator combat in the fishing town that he just visited. And he's hoping to continuously prove himself to others so they can see his amazing fighting skills.
A person like that might think that goblins are a little bit beneath them.
Oh, he's defeated goblins in the Colosseum before, and they are a little lowbrow.
Yeah. I kind of want to save Tinglenuts for last. So, Nomar.
Alright, so Nomar is a dusky-looking dwarf. He's probably been exchanging glares with the dwarven bouncer, as he is not a full dwarf, but Dwagar. Dwargar?
Dwargar, I believe, is what I've heard, how I've heard it pronounced. So, like, every part of dwarf, but you replace the F with gar. I'm not 100%. Like, I feel like that's probably, like, Scandinavian in origin.
Absolutely covered in scars, including a really nasty one on the top of his head. Lightly armored. He actually has no problems with goblins. He once knew a goblin who was on the right side of the law. They were friends for a while. Then he decided to get the fuck out of that place. He's also got a giant femur laying across his back in a holster. So that's like, fun. He looks like a fun guy.
Literally a giant's femur?
Oh, no. But if you ask him about it, he will talk about it at great length.
And I will save that for you guys. Cut a Kanan Fada.
Yep, first in, never out.
First in, never out. This is what it says on the Kanan Fada family crest. Okay. And the other one.
Well, Tinglenuts is a dryad. Mechanically, he's medium, but he's as small as medium gets.
Gotcha.
He'll be just a bit shorter than Nomar. He's wearing a cloak which he has clearly painted green. And the paint's painted it green. And the paint's just sort of cracking off, showing the blue beneath it.
Oh my god.
On his head, he has a wizard's hat made of leaves, which constantly blows away, so he has to make new ones. And have we been traveling together before?
At the very least, I would say that you've known each other. I don't know if we're a dedicated party or if maybe you worked together a little bit before and you all kind of find yourselves in the same boat. That's really up for you guys to decide, but I would say that you guys at least know or know of each other.
Well, one thing you guys will know about Tingly is sometimes he'll cast a spell and a different spell comes out. And he blames it on his stalker, which he claims is a little fairy, who he calls Bastard. Yet, despite this constant claim, neither of you have ever seen her.
I'm excited for the spin-off comic Tinglenuts and Bastard. Hey! Hey, Tinglenuts! Hey! Listen! Yep, so you guys are hanging out at the table of this quiet tavern in this quiet little town. The Goblin job is staring at you from the otherwise empty and dusty jobs board. Apparently it's really peaceful in this area now. And, from the other side, the bouncer is also glaring at you. You've been here for a few days and stuff like that in town. You've probably seen this guy before, and it's not very menacing because he just kind of glares. Like he doesn't have any other setting.
Well, Tingly will hop over to the job board, take the Goblin job, and throw it on the table. We haven't done anything in days. Can we just go do something? I'm bored and the fairy keeps talking to me.
It's a bit beneath me, but I can do it and party up with you guys.
I keep telling you that you need to go and get that checked out, Tinglenuts. I don't know why you just keep putting it off.
Look, I've told you. When I try to get it checked out, she gets mad.
Well, I think that's not a fairy. That's probably a ghost, and what you need is an exorcist, not a doctor.
Say that word so loud. She's probably listening.
Go on then, let's start this job before she fully wakes up then.
Okay.
Yeah, it's time to get going then.
The job describes a number of farms on the outskirts of town, as well as one, very interestingly, sort of an arcane lab that does experiments with various magical matter. Have complained about being raided and thieved from, thefted from, stolen from by these goblin forces.
Have we spent enough time in town to know which one's closest?
Yeah, I would say more or less. At the very least, it wouldn't take you long to ask around. The lab is actually the closest. Farms tend to be on the outskirts of town, so you guys are in town. The lab is likely close.
It's like the lab's the closest, and they also do arcane studies. So you might be able to have that fairy looked at, Tinkle.
I mean, it's worth a shot. They've never been able to help me before. Before we go, I'll give more 2 spell pods of True Strike. Actually, one True Strike, 1 Guidance, 1 Shield. And I'll give Nomar 2 shields. The spell pods are basically just, I put the spell in a pod, you have the spell for 1. You have 1 use of the spell from that pod. It's just the same as wisdom per day.
Wisdom per day. So you're just like
popping all 5. Might as well.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you guys can mark down that you have those spell pods. You can break them and use the spell as you need.
And you said you gave me 2 of shield?
Yes, 2 shields.
Okay.
And I believe Adam said that they cost the same action as the original spell.
Yeah, that was a really good question and one that I hadn't considered at the time, but I feel like in order to be in the spirit of it, just have breaking it mirror the action for casting it. So bonus actions for bonus actions, reactions for reaction.
Yeah, so those shields are level 1 shields.
Okay, so you guys, you have your spell pods.
Oh, and just so it said, I'm going to load a Eldritch Blast into Tingly's ring as part of the phlegmatic disgracia. Hey, to the lab!
Make your way from the tavern to the lab. It's a rather newer building. This is a pretty bog standard village. You've got your mud and stone huts. It's very rustic. But you get here, and what you see is like whitewashed walls, a small squat square building, very neatly trimmed on the outside. Somebody has actually heard of landscaping here. The door is open. You can walk in. I'm gonna theater the mind this bit. If you fight anybody, I'll get you a map. But like for now,
So I immediately start fighting Tinglenuts.
roll initiative.
No, I can't do that to my little buddy.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask, as we walk in, do we see any, like, cages or, like, lab tech?
Not immediately outside.
But when we do see them, do any of them have eyes?
You stare into the lab tech's eyes. They are uncomfortable. If you guys do enter, you can hear the sound of conversation coming from the inside.
Alright, time to barge in there. Like a bull in a china shop.
You slam the door open, and the conversation that you had been kind of hearing on the periphery stops as a number of extremely prim and proper looking wizards in very clean robes look up from what they are doing. Several of them are gathered around a table. They seem to be examining objects that are on said table, these sort of extremely clear to white colored crystals. One of them, a tall half-elven man with graying hair, turns to you and gives you like a very acerbic look. He's like very annoyed that he has been interrupted. He goes like,
Yes, what is it?
We're here about...
Did you bring our sandwiches? Are you the delivery boy?
Look like a common delivery boy?
I don't know. I don't judge.
Here to do with your goblin issue.
Oh, well, that's excellent. All right, well, but please, sit down.
and he sort of like pulls. There's an empty lab table sort of off on the side, and he pulls up a stool to it.
Well, yes. Well, what are your qualifications?
The mighty, more steady slash. You might have heard of me if you visit the Colosseum. Very accomplished gladiator in the scene.
No, I'm afraid I don't frequent the arena. I'm more of a poetry fan.
Nerd.
I've been reading this great book by the up-and-coming Varys Diamond. Very good use of imagery, and I can see that I'm boring.
I don't know what a diamond do is, but it sounds disappointing. Love you, Fly Cheese.
Unless you seem capable enough, I certainly wouldn't want to cross you if I was a goblin.
I have to be defeated many of them before in the gladiator ring, so this should be a quick and easy job.
That's excellent. So, it was a few days back, close to a week now, I believe. They started raiding, of course, these farms across town, but we never thought they'd come here. They came in and they stole an entire parcel of our evocation crystal. It's an experimental new design, and we're hoping to get them back. They're quite valuable.
Sounds easy enough. What color are these crystals?
He actually gestures at the table behind him. He says, they range from absolutely clear and transparent to sort of muddied and foggy white. Depends on their level of purity. Please kindly take a look. And it is. It looks almost like it could be made of glass. It's a weirdly sort of like regular and artificial look. Like, these don't seem like the kind of crystals that you would mine from the ground. They look almost like, you know what? They look like rupees from Legend of Zelda. They've got like that perfect gem shape, and they're a little bit bigger than you would generally expect your average gem to be. Sort of jewelry grade.
Pots in the room?
There is a handful of decorative pots at the far end of the room, kind of sitting in a row that have small plants in them. They come up to about your waist.
I have something called nature talk, which means I can communicate with and understand simple ideas from trees and plants. So I'm going to go ask them if they've got any more crystals inside them, any more rupees.
Yeah, you ask one this, and it just says, water? does look a little dry.
Is there any? Is there a? Oh, what's it called? I've completely forgotten the name. The thing that you water plants with.
Oh, a plant waterer.
Sure.
A water can?
Water can.
There does not appear to be one readily evident.
I say, what is that? What is that one doing by the plants?
Oh, he likes to do whatever it is he likes to do.
He's being stalked by a fairy. The fairy might have planted the idea into his head. It's a long story.
Tingly's immediately going to leave and look for a water source.
There is a stream that runs by, so yeah, you would know from being in the town that it's probably just like 100 yards away. Okay, so you guys are talking, and Tinglenuts has, after whispering to a plant in a pot at the other side of the room, has left, unceremoniously walked out of the lab.
Does he often do that?
Yes, and no further explanation.
Very
I had to wait 4 hours while he had a chat with an oak tree once.
Yeah, but that was a good oak tree.
He still
It's
writes.
good people.
Yes, okay. Are you certain that you're all qualified?
He's kind of like giving you like a look up and down.
Yes. An unqualified person have this as they pull out the Trident of Fish command.
I don't know what that is, but I suppose not.
Just a small token of appreciation from the time that I saved this town from a mighty tuna who's harassing everyone.
Oh, that was you? Oh, wow. I had no idea that I was sitting with the Slayer of Cardzilla.
Yep, and that would be me. And I'm going to flex my muscles a little as I say that as well.
Yeah, and I'm with him.
Yes, I've read the local poet produced a ballad. It was called The Legend of Surf and Turf.
Poetry types. They always downplay my actual abilities.
Anyway,
He should have been finished watering your plants by now. Tingle.
Tinglenuts comes back in and waters the plants, I assume?
Yes, Tingly will just go ahead and start watering the plants.
After a few seconds, as the water sinks into the soil, you get a
Water. Thank you.
Does he neglect you guys like this often?
Oh, lately, there's not a whole lot of attention being paid over here. I assume they're just busy.
Once the plants are watered and the water skin's empty, Tingly's gonna go get more water.
So he walks back out again. You guys are just left staring awkwardly at each other.
did he just water our plants?
When was the last time you watered them?
Things have been quite tense here since the theft. I suppose I've been somewhat neglectful in keeping up the old place. Had a lot of other things on our mind. Our sponsors have threatened to pull funding since we lost a good half of our stock of experimental evocation crystals.
Well, this is going to take a while then. It probably did be about 2 or 3 more trips before he's finished fully watering your plants.
Yeah, this one's on you.
Sorry, I suppose I should have foreseen this.
I mean, you really shouldn't be apologizing to us. The problem is that you don't feed your plants properly.
Not my plants. You know what? This is an unproductive area of discussion.
I believe the plants would disagree.
Listen, are you going to attack the goblins or not? We need those crystals back.
Yeah, and those plants need watering.
Once Tinglenuts is done, we will leave.
Okay, once your friend Tinglenuts is finished watering our plants, then please go and slay the goblin horde.
I can't believe I just said that with my own mouth.
Every time somebody says Tinglenuts
Plants with our Tinglenuts.
in just the most serious voice they can, it's just great.
What have you done?
Yeah, try saying gobshite for like a year, and then get back to me.
Gobshite. Yes, the legendary Gobshite.
Pray that I'm never in one of your games, alright? Like, this is my druid, Shitgibbon.
You're the one who changed his name to Son of a Bitch for like 6 months.
Yeah, for good reason.
Legend of Tinglenuts and Bastard. I can't believe that you have done this. terrible.
I guess after a while, Tinglenuts has finished watering the plants.
Yeah,
and
you
we
guys are
can
just
set off
sitting in awkward silence.
Awkward silence. No, this guy's getting defensive. We're gonna keep ribbing him about watering his plants.
Okay, roll intimidation.
Is that aimed at both of us or just Rust?
Whomever wants to, and they can roll at advantage, because if you guys are both needling him. I imagine probably Fly Cheese that Moore has a pretty good intimidation.
I think they're about the same.
Well, you want to roll one, I'll roll one. We'll call that an advantage.
Yeah, if it's the same, then it's the same thing, yeah.
So we got a 24.
Okay, so by the time Tinglenuts comes through on his final pass through with his swollen water skin, the wizard is weeping.
I'll try to do better, just please stop calling me names.
That's good.
Perfect. As long as he'll do better.
And once all the plants are watered, Tinglenuts will climb onto the table behind him and just dump whatever's left in the water skin on top of him.
So he's taking a shower.
Fine, the plants are watered. Will you please just go now?
All the other wizards are trying to avoid making eye contact. It's real awkward.
Yeah, I think we've got all the information we can get from this place. We're going to check out a few of the farms, and then we'll locate those goblins and get you back your crystals.
Okay, bye-bye, Mr. Wizard.
So you watered his plants and removed his reason for living. But you learned about evocation crystals. Kind of. You didn't really ask him about the evocation crystals. You just learned that they're missing.
And that they look like rupees.
Why don't you dot out to a couple of the major farms in the area? You basically learned that it's some pretty basic goblin stuff. Stealing chickens, stealing cows, a little bit of livestock mutilation, and also that they're coming from sort of the southern reaches of the Neverwood, north of the city. The town. It's not a city, it's a town. But fairly bog standard goblin attack fare. Although these goblins, their activity has been increasing in recent weeks. More and more animals going missing, more and more storehouses being raided, that sort of thing.
We must be getting confident, seeing as they're pulling off more and more stuff. We should go to the edge of that forest and prepare an attack for them for when they come out during nighttime.
Sure.
Maybe we could track them down.
I'm happy to track them down. You're going to track them, or...?
I suppose we might as well speed it along, mightn't we? I'll assume one of you guys is happy to assist.
No, I can do that. If, as soon as Adam comes back, I'll just say, I assist you with hunting them. It's not that hard.
So that 23, that's a survival to try and track them.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Forwards.
Once you get away from the outskirts of the farmlands, you start noticing a lot of tracks from local wildlife, a lot of deer, the occasional wolf. And then, in great swarms, you start noting tracks that have that sort of goblinoid quality that you're quite familiar with. It's very easy for you to follow into the woods. A scant couple of hours, you come to a place where a great amount of goblin tracks converge from a number of directions all throughout woods, and they sort of filter into a rock face that you see before you.
Is it like a cave entrance?
Let me double check if you can actually see that from where you're at.
Yeah, it's right across the street from the tavern.
Yes, there is actually a very clear entry into the rock face. Give me a perception check, actually. I will say that you see that, but give me a perception check for other stuff.
13?
28.
Very readily and easily able to note the entryway into the stone surface of this cliff face. Tinglenuts notices some strangely regular holes in the cliff face, looking almost like arrow slits going up and down. And as he peeks through, he can see like the telltale red flash of goblinoid eyes peeking out at you.
Ah! Run!
Run!
Why should we be running?
Run!
Are you running into the... Okay.
Which way is Tinglenuts running?
He seems to be running into the cave mouth. So you run into the cave mouth, and immediately around you, you see a lot more of those glittering eyes. As they turn around and stare at you, a whole mass of goblins.
Oh, look, everybody, I found them!
Hey guys, how you doing?
The Kananfada is gonna run directly into them.
They heave their scimitar. Okay, wow. All right, here we go. This is happening. All right, I had assumed there would be some more nuance here, but all right.
Sorry, it's just a different version of Flint.
Worthy battle, finally.
Worthy battle with a whole myriad of goblins. Alright, yeah, everybody roll initiative. At least you've got a half-decent marching order.
Before I forget, a quick question about Mollycoddle. If I have a +4 active and I cast it once again, does that keep the +4 active? Or will I need to restock the entire +4 for the 5 rounds?
Once you have the +4, you don't have to cast for a certain number of turns. I can't remember exactly. 5 turns,
5
was it?
rounds.
5 rounds. But you can't maintain it by casting it some more. You would, after those 5 rounds is up,
You'd have to cast it again entirely.
you'd have to cast it again. But you are allowed to multi-do it. So, like, what is it? Like, you have to cast it 4 times to get the +4? And
Yeah,
no
yeah.
longer
At
have
this
trade?
level, I can do it all at once.
But you wouldn't really be able to do anything else that turn. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So the goblins are definitely going to go first. All right, so the three immediately in front of you pull out their scimitars and all take whacks at Mar, and that is going to be... Well, one of them is a natural 1. So you just get really excited. It goes like... and accidentally like make some sparks against the wall as he tries to hit you with the scimitar. I just got done sharpening that. 4 to hit. Okay, does a 16 hit you?
Yes, because I am flat-footed.
You're flat-footed? Oh, okay, all right. It's not called flat-footed, but no, I know what you mean. You're deliberately taking damage at this point.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm kind of excited to actually see this in use. So that means that the other 2 that aren't nat 1s will hit. Are you kidding me? Snake Eyes! So you take 6 points of damage.
Norma looks very disappointed.
That's all right, because we've got 15 goblins that start pulling out their short bows. Jesus Christ.
Starts looking giddy. It's uncomfortable.
God, I like the pain.
He just pulls his top up and starts slapping his chest.
Uh-huh.
Right here. Right here.
Yes, turn me into a pincushion. Turn me into one of those small creatures.
Okay, so they've got a +4. Your AC is currently what?
12 with armor?
12 with armor? Okay, yeah. Alright, so you get hit by 3 arrows. 2 other ones plink off your armor. Yeah, you take an additional 18 points of damage. Behind you, what is Moore's AC? This is just going to be, with this level of bad guys, it's just going to be easier to do it this way.
15?
15. Okay. Yeah, so you get hit with 3 as well. 4.
Oh, yes. Sorry, my AC is 9.
Okay, well then another one of those arrows would have hit you for an additional 7 points of damage. More...
Sorry, I thought it was like denying myself my dex bonus, but it actually says subtract my dexterity bonus.
Well, yeah, because that's how the AC would work. It should be somewhere around, like generally speaking, as a martyr, you're probably not going to be wearing much in the way of armor. Would be the intention of the build. So you would probably be around 8 or 9 while deliberately taking damage.
Yes.
Okay, so Moore takes 15 points of damage, and Tinglenuts, what is your AC?
It's 17 at the moment.
You actually only take 1 hit.
I forgot it was a cantrip for me. Can I shield?
Yeah. You can use your reaction to use the shield.
Yeah. So that's
that increases
22?
you to 22. Yeah, that doesn't hit then. All right. Yeah, that was that would have been a 19 to hit.
Thanks, bastard.
You hear nothing. Okay. Now it's Nomar's turn.
You're at spell level 5, baby.
5? All right. So,
It is your turn.
How many of them can I get in a cone of cold?
From where you're standing, yeah, you can probably get everything except for like these 5 in the corner here. Is probably the most you can get.
All right, time to repay my debt. 8d8. 42 cold damage. They need to make me a dexterity. No, a constitution saving throw.
42 cold damage. And is
Yep.
it half on a successful save?
Half. Yep.
Then it doesn't matter. These literally are regular goblins here. they have 7 hit points, my friend. This is what I was hoping for this first encounter.
A creature killed by the spell becomes a frozen statue until it thaws. So they're just like looking at a gorgon. You just kind of freeze there in that no kind of pose.
Did I leave my oven on?
Yep, okay, so you just done a genocide by Frost. Is there anything else you can do?
Yep. I'm gonna move over.
Yep, you're going to sort of like step between a bunch of these guys.
Oh, I'm gonna knock him over. I don't care.
These ones are almost backing up away from you because they're like,
Ah, holy shit.
I believe it's Moore's turn then, unless there was something else you wanted to do.
Nope.
All right, Moore, steady slash.
Then I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20 to the square.
Mhm.
I'm going to enter the spectacle.
How do you go about entering your spectacle?
I sort of like rub my foot along the floor like I'm going to start charging. I'm going to pull out my 2 hand axes so they're ready to go. And then
Such a
I'm going
good
to do an
mental image.
incredibly long moo. And then
That's awesome.
slice my way to the goblin directly in front of me.
Okay.
It's a 31 hit.
You know it does.
Then I do 17 damage to the goblin right in front of me.
Yep, you just cut him immediately in half.
Okay. When I kill him, I'm then going to thumbs down.
Awesome.
Because the kill is so violent and gory, all enemies that can see it must make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom is not really their strong suit, so I believe that's yeah. All right, so there's 4 of them that are immediately can see what's going on.
Yeah, they need to make that wisdom saving throw, and then if they fail it, they get disadvantage on the next attack.
Okay. And what is the DC?
The DC is 16.
16. Okay, so only one of them seems to be completely unflapped by this whole situation. The one right back here, blood and gore from his fallen brethren just splashes into his face, and he just like licks his lip and goes. This one over here goes like,
Duncan, that's weird. Oh my god, you're a creep.
but I think it's just easier to mark the one that doesn't have disadvantage on their next attack. So that's it. That's Duncan right there.
I still have an extra attack, so I was going to step forward once more and then attack him.
Okay.
Does 22 hit?
It does.
And it's 16 damage to that goblin.
Ah, you killed Duncan. What a creep.
Is there anything else?
I'm gonna, with my ego, I gain a advantage.
That's true.
But I'm gonna keep that, so I'm gonna end my turn here.
Tinglenuts.
So seeing as we're just rushing in and killing killing the goblins.
Whatever. They're green. They're bloodthirsty. Same thing.
Yeah. Tingly's gotta follow suit, but as soon as he gets into within 15 feet of the goblin directly to the right of him, Bastard takes over and casts Shenanigan.
Okay, roll me a D100 then.
41.
41. You feel a moment of panic as your feet leave the ground. You and the target both rise into the air, gaining a 30-foot fly speed for 1 minute. Which one did you aim it at?
The closest one.
Okay. So now the both of you can fly for 1 minute.
Tingly's gotta sort of roll around in the air shouting, "Damn it, bastard!" And while he's rolling around in the air, a piece of bark is going to fly off of him and ka-thump into the flying goblin. Ooh, 29.
I know you're going to be shocked by this, but that will hit.
9 damage.
That's enough, though.
So he's like, I can fly at last. The odds are even.
Ka-cha! Right into his face. And he flops down to the ground.
Tingly will continue suspended there, yelling obscenities. Yeah, that's his turn.
It's the top of the turn. There are 2 goblins left in this main chamber. They are both going to cut and run. Yeah, one of them's going to run this way towards this. There's a corridor right off this way. Going to take an attack of opportunity from both Nomar and Moore.
I already got the axes out and I'm in spectacle. Do you want me to quickly just bash the goblin as he flees?
Yes, do it. Show him pain.
Does a 19 hit?
19 hits, yeah. Don't think it's even possible for him to survive this, but go ahead and roll anyway. Yeah.
14.
This one's going to try and run up this way. It will take an attack of opportunity from Nomar. You have already used your reaction. More, so
15.
15 just hits. Only doing
4 damage.
4 points of damage. Okay. What are you attacking with?
Oh, he's got the femur.
Okay, which is okay. So you whack.
Great club.
Yeah, you whack this guy in upside the back of the head, and you hear a solid thunk, and the goblin cries out in pain. But then he's like,
Oh, I honestly thought I wasn't going to survive that. Okay.
and he runs up to the north here.
Oh, actually, do you have... I think it might have been a feat that I gave Nomar Rust. Something like
Warcaster.
Yeah.
Oh, if you have Warcaster, then you can use a cantrip as an attack of opportunity. Yeah.
Okay, then yes, I would like to do that instead.
What do you do?
Sacred Flame?
Go for it.
Yeah, I think that guy's toast.
He was toast with just one of those rolls. Yeah, so you've toasted his roll. All right, so he starts running. You give him a second, and then you just burn his head out from the inside, and he collapses to the ground just there on the inside of this corridor up here.
Slaughtered a bunch of nobodies.
Like you do. And yeah, you are out of initiative.
As soon as that happens, Tinglenuts is going to start flying that way. At first, he'll be screaming, "Bastard, no! Wait! Wee! This is fun!"
Okay. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Is that for a ground-based trap? Because I am flying.
It is not for a ground-based trap, no. I'm aware that you are
Okay.
flying.
20.
So as you come down this hallway, you see sort of a statue, and it seems like there's like almost this like silvery glow in it that tracks you and traces you. And then as soon as you come within a certain range, it flares up and out. Yeah, there's this sort of like beam of magical light that shoots out at you. And you take 20 points of force damage.
I wonder if that statue is dynamite.
I have no reaction for that. You can.
But did you understand it?
I did, I suppose. Your body is rocked by this sudden bolt of force that shoots through you, and you can see that even though the glow has dimmed for a moment, it seems to be brightening up once again. What do you do?
The fairy is going to keep... Bastard is going to keep Tingly along the path. So he's going to keep moving towards it. So if we assume it's like 1 round, then that's 30 foot of movement there.
Yep.
And Tingly will try to attack the statue.
Right, with what? As you get closer, by the way, give me a perception check. This is just, I'm calling it like a basic perception check. I'm not going to count it as like your action or something like that.
22.
All right. What you're looking at is more or less like a statue of a goblin's head on top of like a noble paladin's body. A little bit of wish fulfillment there. instead of two eyes, there's like almost like a cyclopean single eye, and you can see a glowing crystal embedded in the face of the statue. That's what's glowing, looking like it's going to lash out at you. So how do you attack in this split second?
Okay, so we are going to do 4 Eldritch Blasts. Just straight at it, because Tingley's got no fucking idea what this thing is.
I mean, this thing isn't trying to get away from you, but it's also a statue, so...
No, I just know that I have to roll an attack.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a nat 20 for a 30. There's a 12, a 15, and a 21.
Yeah, I think all of those hit. I think the 12 just barely hits. But go ahead and roll damage, and don't forget your crit.
28 force damage.
All of these attacks, especially your critical hit, slam directly into where it is lodged inside of the goblinoid statue head, and you hear just this kind of like clink, 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 as the crystal, smoking, kind of scatters across the floor down off in this direction, and the statue grows dark.
Tingley's immediately going to be thrown towards it and just sort of crash into the wall next to it. Ow!
Let's start walking up the corridor towards that room.
Yep. Following after.
When you get there, Tingley's just on the crystal straight up saying, I found one!
It looks to be the very self-same crystals that you were looking at earlier, the evocation crystals that were stolen from the lab.
Goblins must have put them into the statues to make them fighters. Oh no, I was busy cleaning the goblin blood off my sword to pay attention to what was happening to anyone else. Should we try this door and see what's through there?
You can try the door. I'll be back here.
Perception check on the door. Only a 9.
Well, you're not sure if it's trapped or not. It does seem like it's a pretty solid door, and there is a pretty solid lock there as well. But these are goblins. Who cares, right? What do you think is going to happen?
All right, let's open it up.
I kick open my one.
You kick it, and it's almost like you're kicking a wall. Like, you wouldn't even guess that there was a door there. It doesn't move within its frame. It is an extremely solid door. It gives you the impression of being like metal, like a solid iron door.
I go to open the door normally then.
This one is also locked. It has a similar looking similar looking lock to the other ones. All 3 of these doors actually look pretty much exactly the same.
Well, I suppose if those 2 aren't working, Tingley will be bashed against that door repeatedly until he tries to open it. Stop! Ah! And then he'll just try the door.
Door's locked.
I guess no one's door's opening then. There's the other corridor that the goblin tried to run her down.
No, don't say that! Ah, bastard, no!
Well, chase after.
At this point, you've probably lost, by the way, your flight.
Oh, what we'll do, if it's okay with you, when he's flying back through that corridor, he loses it mid-air and just crashes into all the frozen statues like the bowling ball. Knocks them all over.
Roll 1d12.
11.
11? You got a spare.
Somewhere the fairy is cheering.
I'll have a quick look down the corridor that Tingle just rolled next to.
All right, so you're hanging out you're looking down this corridor. Most of this area is kind of torchlit, but you actually see daylight filtering in, and you realize this is a room that looks out onto the courtyard that you guys were just in. I would say that probably by this point there were goblins in there. They have probably run away by this point. I had this whole plan where like the goblins were going to come running out, and you would have to fight them all in the courtyard while taking arrow shots from the ones that are behind the arrow slits. But you guys, in true you guys fashion, ran directly in before I even had an opportunity to make you have a stealth check. So
moving so fast they can't see us, and therefore it is stealthy. That's fine.
All right, so yeah, you can see like just by peeking in, you can see like a little quivering green goblin, kind of like in the back of the room, just like his hands splayed out against the wall, just like,
Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. No, go away, shoot.
kind of kicks out at you with a foot.
Do you want to come down from the wall?
I mean, I meant that he was like sitting down in the corner, but I like that a lot more. Like he partially climbed up the wall. He's like, yeah, he's 15 feet up. He's like,
No, I'm good up here, thank you.
Okay. I'm going to chuck a hand axe at him.
make an attack roll. 23.
Mm-hmm.
He sees you pull out the hand axe. He goes like, wait, no, I changed my mind. Pull. And he just tumbles onto the ground. All right, so there's that. As this one tumbles to the ground, you can hear like a little sort of like a tingling, clinking sound.
It's not me.
Cautiously approach him and then like check for a crystal, because that's the only way that the goblins could have stuck to the wall for so long.
No, he was just a good climber.
That one was a monkey goblin.
That one was a monkey goblin. Yeah, sure. We get all kinds around here. But actually, as you lift up what the pulverized remains of this one's body, you can see a sort of key sticking out of his pocket, a single one on a ring.
I wonder if this is used for the lock. I say as I hold the key out to the other two. This should open them up. I'm just gonna pick up the hand axe that I threw at him.
Like the idea that you pick it up and it's still attached to it.
No, I was kind of figuring you'd have to pick it up and just kind of like shake him loose.
Are we gotta go down that hall or we gotta go open some doors?
I mean, like, we already know that area. We can come back to it. The doors are locked. Hopefully this is the only key.
Yes, we should check out what's behind the doors before we go on that way.
You're opening them. Go ahead.
I will open the doors if you prefer.
Which door are you going for here?
Fine. The southern one.
The southern one. Okay. Very simple. You insert the key into the lock and you turn it, and yeah, it turns very easily and clicks. However, a mechanism that you didn't notice up above the lock engages. Now, you draw your hand back because you're like, oh, wow, it is trapped. But what it seems to do is it claps down over the key, like almost like a guillotine sort of motion, and just chunk, and the back end of the key goes tumbling off on the ground. One use only key, apparently.
Goddamn Zelda dungeon.
Once the things cut off the end of the key, does it go back up or does it stay down?
Stays down.
I'm gonna reach out for the handle of the door and then push it open and then take a step back.
Now you push it open and you can see that there is a dimly lit corridor just beyond. It seems to fork off in two different directions. To your left, it seems to go downstairs. To your right, it seems to be a little bit more brightly lit down that way. That's just a regular hallway. It doesn't seem to go downstairs.
I'll go first then, shall I?
I got it.
Let me do a little bit of revealing. You're looking down the stairs?
Yep.
Give me a perception check if you don't.
12.
Yeah, you can see that it ends in sort of a room, and you can hear the dripping of water. It seems like it gets really damp sort of in this area. You get kind of that smell of subterranean stagnant water. What do you think? There's a water source down here. You might also have your eyes drawn to the other side, which opens up into a room. There are some more of those arrow slits, and a couple of those goblins, which are also kind of staring at you in absolute shock and horror.
I've found more goblins over here.
Start.
No. Get away. It's my birthday. You wouldn't kill a little guy on his birthday, would you? Look at me. I'm just a little guy.
You know what Kanan Fadaz get on their birthday?
Transformers figurines?
Scars.
I don't need any scars. I've got scars. Did you know the belly button is technically a scar?
That's very interesting.
How old are you on this birthday?
69. I'm so close to retirement, too. It's my birthday. I'm going to be retiring soon.
69, and you only have the one scar on your belly button? which is your belly button.
No, I've got other scars. I gave a kidney to my grandmother once. It's a very selfless act, everybody said. I'm really a great guy. It's
More. We have a lot of work to do.
At least as many scars as you are old. So we're going to be busy.
Make an attack of opportunity. As he runs past.
20. This time it would be with my battle axe.
Okay.
Because clubs don't leave good scars. 10 points.
that's a scar.
These ones down here.
It's not our birthdays.
Do you guys have any crystals or keys or anything?
Oh yeah, we know where all the crystals are. They're all over the place. There's so many crystals here.
I mean, if they're all over you at the place, then we can just find them without you.
Well, I mean, it's not as simple as all that. But I think there's some behind you.
There's some behind me. No, that's just more.
As you turn around, what you see, ostensibly goblinoid figures, but they seem to be encased within extremely powerful armor. And as you look at them, these large, muscular, brutish sort of goblins, they hold out these sort of like crossbow-like devices.
Leave this place immediately. You have no idea what you're getting yourselves into.
I'm gonna start casually approaching them.
While he's doing that, can I cast Mollycoddle? Because I know what happens when a Kanan Fadar casually approaches goblins.
That's fair enough. Yeah, you can do that.
That's far enough, dwarf.
What do you mean? The exit's that way, and you're in our way from leaving?
I'm going to go start backing him up.
Please leave. Oh, not this way. Not towards the exit.
Are you leaving, or are you making a move to attack?
Which one would you prefer?
I have stated leaving. I will happily back up.
We're getting into like Raxo territory here. Oh yeah, he would have backed up well before you got to that point. He as you step there, he jerks his crossbow-looking device towards the door.
Oh, where did you get that neat-looking armor?
None of your business, dwarf.
Oh, dwarf! I'm gonna smack him in the face with my great club. I'm gonna drop my battle axe, pick up Papa's femur, and I'm gonna smack him!
Papa's femur.
Bonus action, Holy Wrath. 25
Definitely
for
hits.
14 points of damage.
He takes 14 points of damage, but the armor seems to absorb a lot of it. This is a tough-looking goblin.
We'll see how tough he is when he's just a bugbear beneath my foot.
It doesn't even make any sense, but you guys are going to be rolling initiative now.
Sweet. Damn it. I saw Tigers roll, and I was like, nice, Mira. And then I remembered, wait a minute.
You don't want Tinglenuts as a bodyguard. He'll get weird fast.
Sending order, Tingle gets to go first, having seen Nomar smack this guy with a club. He knows which way the wind is blowing, or perhaps it's just Bastard who knows which way the wind is blowing.
Actually, wait, what did Mollycoddle do?
It increases my AC.
Okay.
It's sort of like a dedicated Hedge Wizard mage armor kind of thing.
Yeah, because
Gotcha.
Mage Armor is one of those ones that I would consider to be like one of the crucial arcane caster spells that they just don't have access to. So I was like, okay, but how do you do this? How do you make Mage Armor a cantrip? So you have to cast it 4 times in a row to get the benefits of it. So you can't just, when you're low level, you can't just use it at any time that you want. But when you're higher level, because you can cast multiple cantrips at a go, then it's pretty easy to load up with it. Anyway, yeah, so go ahead. It is Tinglenuts.
So Tingley is going to hit the guy that Nomar just hit with the Tingle special. So that's 1 Eldritch Blast, 1 Chill Touch, 1 Ray of Frost, and 1 Shocking Grasp. Again, I'm just going to roll them all at once. So that's a 29, a 16, a 20, and a 28.
The 16 does not hit.
So that would be the Chill Touch does not hit.
You know, it just occurred to me, the way that you're using them, kind of like an arcane monk. Just like, chop, 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 chop. Like you just flurry of blows these cantrips out there.
Yeah, baby.
Just turns into a light show.
Oh, that's 3 force damage, 2 cold damage, and 3 lightning damage. But that also means, because of Ray of Frost and Shocking Grasp, he gets -10 speed and loses his reaction for this round.
Ah, okay, cool. That's good, because he was going to use a reaction. He probably should have used it there, actually, but I forgot to, so...
And for the bonus action, I will activate the Eldritch Blast loaded into the ring and fire that.
Ooh!
21.
21 does hit, though.
That's another 5 force damage.
Okay, you can see that his armor is pockmarked and almost starting to fall apart in places. He's simultaneously steaming, and you're also getting like a little bit of that frosty mist from like the cold parts. But he's not dead or down or anything.
And Tingly is not going to move because he knows that's just going to provoke Bastard.
All right, it is the Goblin's turn. This one is going to heft his crossbow thing, and because Tinglenuts is the one who just did all that he did to it, he is going to shoot out with that.
Shield.
All right, so he takes aim at Tinglenuts. Does a 24 hit your AC?
Not with shield up now.
Right. Okay. Cool. I thought I put something in there about it not stacking with shield, like Mollycoddle not stacking with shield, or maybe it's just Mollycoddle not stacking with mage armor.
It says it can't stack with mage armor. It doesn't say anything about shield.
Okay, I think in the future I'm going to edit that, but that's yeah. So, play tests, man. But like, yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. You got me on that one. Okay, yeah. So, what happens is this crossbow-like thing lights up with this extremely brilliant light and slams out into you. You're just barely able to just like by pulling up your shield and everything, you divert its course, and the entire cave rumbles as it hits the wall over off this way. These goblins around here, they actually duck and cover. They have to dive out of the way. That was an extremely powerful blast you just blocked.
Nice.
This one right here is going to take aim at Nomar, and this one is going to take aim at Moore. That is a 22 for Nomar, and a 14 against Moore.
14 misses.
Okay. Nomar takes... Wow. That's a lot of really small numbers. 11 points... Nomar takes 11 points of force damage.
Take that.
Right, and these goblins right here, they're just going to like sort of like coddle in a corner over here. They're not going to do much. But it is now Nomar's turn.
So I am going to hit him first and then move to the back. In that order. With a natural 20.
Yeah, no.
So for a total of 9.
So you just like whip around and whack him with Papa's femur, and you smash in this helmet, and you hear like a gurgling sound. And this one tumbles to the ground with a sound like a mess of pots and pans dropping.
I am going to Misty Step back here.
All right. You Misty Step back there.
Yes, as my bonus action.
What you see back here is a pool of water with a goblin standing in it.
And I'm going to tell him, you can fire arrows at me if you want, but after I'm done here, I will be coming after you.
And the goblin says,
We'll see.
And it is Moore's turn.
I'm going to Goring Rush the northern one. So, 20-foot dash. And then I can use my horns to pierce him.
Okay.
Does a 15 hit?
15 does not get past his armor, no.
And then I'm going to use my second attack to just attack him with one of the hand axes. 25?
That one will definitely hit, yeah.
8 damage.
Okay, yeah. Takes 8 damage.
And then I'm going to use my Hammering Hordes. So immediately after I hit a creature with a melee attack, I can use a bonus action to attempt to shove the target with my horns.
Where are you going to shove him?
Diagonally to the north.
To the northeast. Okay, up here. Okay.
It needs to make a strength saving throw.
Not exactly. Strength is not really what I would call your strength. Yeah, no, that's a 2 on the die. We're good.
So it gets pushed.
You just kind of like toss your head like a bull and just push him up behind that statue. All right, anything else?
I am my turn.
Okay, it's Tinglenuts' turn.
Can I see or attack this guy here from where I am?
I would say that he gets. I would say he gets probably 3/4 cover from that. So he gets a +5 to his AC. So if you're going to attack him, you got to make it good.
And how about here?
Like, okay, so from here to here, he gets half cover, which is a +2 to 8.
Okay, I have something called a Wand of the War Mage that says my spell attacks ignore half cover. Is that applicable here?
That would be exactly the situation. This would be exactly the situation you would want to use that.
Marvelous. So another crit, a 28, another 28.
So everything except for the 12 hits.
It's 23 total. Did they should I bother splitting up? Do they have any kind of resistance?
None of what the damage that you're hitting with would seem to indicate that they have any kind of resistance to the damage that you're hitting them.
But with the chill touch, he cannot heal for the round, and he loses 10 speed.
Okay.
And a bonus action Kathump. There's another piece of bark flies off of Tingle's nuts. It's only a 13.
13 definitely misses. It just kind of goes plink off the armor, and he's just like,
Well, I mean, the other stuff hurt, but that just hurt my feelings.
There's an invisible fairy somewhere flipping him off. But that's Tingly's turn.
Now it's the goblin's turn. These ones back here are going to... these goblins in the back are going to continue sort of like shivering and just kind of like seeing how things sort of play out. This one right here is going to step up to get a good clear shot at our man Tinglenuts.
He has no idea what he's just done.
I'm sure he doesn't. And he's going to take aim once again with his weird little laser cannon. That is a 19. I believe your shield has faded from before.
Well, it's still a 21 with the mollycoddle.
21 with the mollycoddle, okay.
Also,
That's
with
fine.
shield being the cantrip, I can just use it all the time, basically.
You have really hacked it. Okay, all right.
Hedge Wizard's really good at avoiding damage.
So it would appear.
Given how AC works with D&D, you definitely want to fix that.
Yeah, no, I like I said, I appreciate you guys finding these loopholes for me. It's stuff I do, it's a big game. There's a lot of different interconnecting rules. Very good. I will keep that in mind. All right, this one right here is going to take an attack of opportunity from Nomar as he steps away to get a better shot. So yeah, you can go ahead and make an attack of opportunity if you so choose.
All right, let's hit him with that Ray of Frost.
Right.
17?
17 just misses.
Aw, darn.
Yeah, so he just kind of like dodges a little bit quickly out of the way, and a spray of frost glazes the wall behind him. And he's going to take aim at you for 15 to hit.
I'm still denying myself dexterity.
Okay. Yeah, you're still flat-footing yourself. You take 16 points of force damage.
Nice.
And the final goblin to go is this one in the back, who you hear like a click from behind you, Nomar, and you glance, and you suddenly see that he was standing in front of a switch, a lever on the wall. He has just clicked it down. To your right, you hear a rumble as a portcullis gate slams down on the stairs where you just were. Hits your ears as the water level begins to rise.
Can I see through the portcullis?
I would say that, for example, if you tried to make so you can visualize it, if you tried to make a ranged attack through it, anything you were shooting at would probably inherently have partial cover, or half cover, rather.
Uh-huh.
But you can see and communicate and hear and all that stuff. It's just this iron gate that is collapsed downward.
Is that supposed to be threatening, Goblin?
He shrugs. He seems pleased with himself.
Did you not see me pop into existence right here where I am now?
A good point. That is a good point.
And I'm going to Misty Step over to him. Just because I can.
Just right up at his face. That seems to catch him off guard.
Just hit him with Papa's Femur.
Just hit him with Papa's Femur.
It's the Kanan Fana way. That would be a...
Okay, yeah, and this one is not an armored goblin. This is a regular goblin.
That would still only be a 14 with a +7.
So yeah, you swing and he ducks just barely out of the way, and you make a little pockmark in the stone wall with Papa's Femur.
How does it feel being stuck with me in here?
I'm not stuck in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
That is the end of my turn, though.
Okay, yeah. Moore's turn. You've just heard this big collapsing gate sound from behind you.
I'm going to start scraping the floor with my hoof, pull out my hand axes in a very spectacular way as I go into another
Very good.
spectacle. I then take a diagonal step to the side and I attack him with the hand axe.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to use the advantage that I saved up from earlier. With my ego.
A 33. Okay, I was going to use a reaction to do a thing, but I guess not. Yeah, 33 definitely hits.
10.
10 points of damage, all right. Yeah, you find a nice little seam in the armor, and you smack your hand axe up into it, and you can feel it hitting meat.
And now that I've found my target with my second attack, I'm going to... Oh, no, wait. Because I hit him with a melee attack, I get to shove him another 10 foot. He makes the save, unless he makes the strength saving throw.
That's a 4 on the die. Oh, wait, I rolled a d8, that's why. That's a 3 on the die, that's even worse somehow. Okay, no, yeah, there's no way.
He gets shoved further north. And I'm going to follow him up and attack him with my horns. Does a 26 hit?
26 definitely hits, yes.
So 9 piercing damage with the horns.
Pretty great, though, even with a nat 1. You can feel that you've actually managed to pierce this strange armor like it was a thin veneer of tin, and the floor grows slick with his blood. Okay, Tinglenuts!
Okay, so this goblin will see Tinglenuts looking around, looking up, looking down. Stop giggling! No! I don't want to do it! He doesn't hear any giggling.
So he low-key puts down his, he lowers his crossbow a little bit and gives you a weird look. But yeah, you shenanigan him. And that is a...
Wink. You cast Charm Person on the target.
Wisdom saving throw. Wisdom saving. Their wisdom is not good, and their armor doesn't do a whole lot for it. That's a 4.
Assuming this goes off of my DC, then he obviously fails.
I don't think there's a spell DC that wouldn't fail. Yeah, okay. So he's charmed by you. He had already started putting down the crossbow at your weird admission. And he puts it all the way down, and he just kind of puts a hand out, and he says,
hey, you okay, buddy? There's nobody here, buddy.
In that case, what Tingly's going to do is going to curl up and start rocking and say, "Get away from me! Get away!"
What is it? What is it? You can tell me.
He's gonna point into a corner and say, "She's right there."
Okay. Is there anything else you want to do with your turn aside from that?
No. I could try and attack him with a bonus action, but frankly, I'm comfortable with things how they are.
Yeah. So, first things first. He's going to once again pull up his weird crossbow, and he's going to be like, I got you, buddy, I got you. And he shoots for the corner that you've pointed at, spraying these guys with dust and stone and shrapnel, and they duck and screech and try to get out of the way. And then he kind of he points the crossbow down again. He comes up to you and he puts his hand on your shoulder. He says, "There you go, buddy. We got it, buddy."
You gotta.
And he's just comforting you. Meanwhile, back here, this one is going to take a step back, which gives you an attack of opportunity. More.
Do I still get the charisma bonus if it's an attack of opportunity?
The charisma bonus applies to any regular melee attack that you make. This is a regular melee attack. So I would say that it does. Wait, all melee attacks? This is a melee attack. So you would get the charisma bonus to damage.
26 hits.
Yeah, 26 hits.
11. Hand axe.
He brings up his force bow to attempt to shoot you in the face. But as he does, he leaves a little open spot in his armor, and you whip in with your hand axe and just hit him in the stomach like a meat cleaver. And he just kind of like gurgles and curls over onto your hand axe. I'd say he didn't even get a chance to step off this way. This goblin down here is going to take aim once again for Nomar. Sorry, what's your AC at the moment? Does a 12 hit?
9.
That's either no in German.
No, it hits. It hits.
Yeah, okay. So you take 13 points of damage.
Awesome.
The goblin right next to you is going to pull out a scimitar and make a basic attack as well. For 18, and that is going to be a 7 points of damage from the goblin immediately next.
All right, I am now bloody.
Mm-hmm. And as this is happening, the water level rises 5 feet. All of this in here, up to the first square of stairs, is now in water. You and the goblins are now swimming. And that is it for that round. Nomar's turn. You are now floating in the water. In order to move, if you want to do regular movement, you will probably have to do an athletics check to see how far you're able to go.
Actually, can this room flood? Like, completely?
This ceiling seems to be about 15 feet high. You're not sure if that means that it can flood completely or what exactly is going to happen, but you wouldn't wager that the goblins set this up just to mildly annoy you.
Do the goblins look hindered by the water?
I mean, they're swimming as well. The one next to you looks you in the eye and says,
"Long live the stag beetle tribe."
Stag beetle is nothing compared to Kanan Faraz. I'm gonna take a swim.
Okay.
Just over here. I guess he'll get an attack of opportunity if he wants. If he can, swimming.
I don't think there's anything that says that you can't. I would rule that since he's swimming with the arm that he's attacking with, I'll say that he takes it at disadvantage, though. That's a nat 1. Yeah, so he tries to swipe out at you as you move, but it's no problem.
Now it's time for Divine Justice.
Okay, now it's time for Divine Justice. How much damage did you take?
20.
20 points of damage, okay. You can go ahead and make that ranged attack.
19.
And which one are you attacking?
This one over here.
The blast slams him into the wall and almost disintegrates him.
Nice. And then I will... How far can I move with that 15?
You can swim 15 feet. I'm doing very simply, you round up to the next 5, so you're right at the top of 15 feet. You're easily able to make it 15 feet.
Now I'm going to move adjacent to that guy and end my turn.
We are back to Moore's turn, unless there was something else you wanted to do.
Then I'm going to move here and attack the guy to my left.
With advantage, because you are flanking with Tinglenuts.
Very technically.
I would say that you would get advantage anyway because the goblin is distracted. He's got your head on his shoulder and he's like patting you on the back and stuff like it.
It's okay. We got rid of the scary voice.
So 23 for 10 damage.
10 damage is exactly what you needed.
Oh, I also want to shove him. The square just south of Tingle.
So like you're receiving this comfort from your new goblin friend who's just a little bit shorter than you. You feel an impact. And then suddenly he goes limp and is tossed off of you.
Oh, Tinglenuts, you're there. And then end my turn.
Okay. Tinglenuts, it's your turn.
The Tingly's gonna look at where he shot, where he was originally pointing at.
Yep.
See nothing there. Feel the splash of blood on him. Look in front of him. See the corpse and see the fairy dancing on top of him. Ah! Look some more. Ah! He's got to take off running. See that he's trapped. Ah!
You can see the water is actually starting to filter up underneath that little portcullis.
He's just gonna fire Eldritch Blasts at the goblin through the portcullis.
Okay.
That's a 24, a 15, a 13, and a 20.
2 of them hit.
Or 17 force damage.
All right. Yeah, so you at a downward angle, you smash this guy with these forceful spells, and he just bobs down underneath the surface of the water for a moment and pops back up with his armor all dented.
And a bonus action, Kerthump.
Bonus action to Kerthump.
13.
13, unfortunately, yeah, that's going to miss. So it's like a little tiny flick of bark just right off of him.
And with the rest of his movement, Tingly's just going to try to run away.
Not much going on for the goblins right now. Most of them are dead. This one in here is going to whip around, trying to see the thing that just attacked him and dented his armor and damaged him so. But by that point, he's already disappearing around the corner there. He does, however, have line of sight on more, so he's going to take a shot. You have a +2 to your AC, Fly Cheese, because the portcullis is granting you partial cover. I mean, it doesn't matter because I rolled a nat 1. Yeah, so he fires and he leaves like a hole, a smoking hole in the center of the portcullis, which kind of causes the beam to veer off over this, in between Tinglenuts and more. At the very end of this, the water rises up an additional 5 feet. And it is Nomar's turn.
So the options here are either more Tinglenuts or no more Tinglenuts.
I'm glad that pretty much every pun that's been made today has just been met with complete silence.
Yeah.
We're off our game today.
I just don't know how to process it, that's all. No, stunned silence is usually no, that's a reward. That's a DM's reward.
Alright, well, I'm gonna bonus action Holy Wrath.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna swing at this guy.
Okay.
For a 17.
17 just misses.
Which I believe misses.
Yep.
And then I'm going to move here so that I am in his way, and he basically has to fire at me.
Anything else you want to do? Or can do?
Nope.
Okay. And it is Moore's turn. The water is creeping up, and you can see there's only 5 feet between the top of the water and the ceiling of this room.
Okay, so I'm going to go 30 foot this way and then 5 foot that way and attack this goblin here.
Okay.
Paid to think, I'm paid to hit goblins.
All right. All right. Yeah, no, okay. That's fine. I don't know. I thought there would be some compassion there. That's all. Go for it.
Does a 24 hit?
Hell yeah, 24 hits.
11 damage.
You destroy him.
No.
I take another 5 foot of movement. With my second attack, I do the same again.
Okay. Dead. This is a dead doornail. Goodbye.
And my turn.
All right. What else do you need? Okay, are you still running?
Tingly is incredibly traumatized at the moment, so he is going to spend all of his actions fleeing.
Okay. A note, I didn't make you do that. All right.
It's that damn good fairy.
Okay. It's the goblin's turn. This goblin, once again, is going to... And he's going to take a shot at Nomar. With disadvantage, of course. Oh, god damn it, another nat 1. So that's a 6. So he's just...
Damn it, Goblin.
He's just blasting holes into the ceiling at this point. Alright, and it is the end of the goblin's turn, and you are officially entirely underwater. Whatever mechanism it is seems to grind to a halt. The water is just sort of like lapping at the very top of the stairs. although I don't think anybody can actually see that right now. So while you're completely submerged in water, you can survive up to 1 plus your constitution modifier minutes with your breath held. So how many minutes can you survive before you begin to drown?
6.
Okay, so yeah, you're probably all right.
I'm gonna outweight this goblin
Okay.
until he decides that he can hit me and I can misty step out. I'm just gonna outweight him. So I'm gonna just float there, arms crossed, and glare at him menacingly.
That's all you're gonna do then with your turn is to
Glare menacingly?
Oh,
Yes.
menacingly. Okay. More. It's your turn.
As I'm still in spectacle, I have 40 foot of movement, so I'm just going to stand here and look down at the water, confused.
Yeah. Fair enough. The problem with doing a level 10 one-shot is that you have to ask yourself, how did these people even make it to level 10? Tingle's turn.
Tingle's going to, again, double move and crawl up beneath the tree.
Tingle has left the dungeon and is now outside.
And he's going to say to the tree, "Protect me."
The tree goes, okay. Okay, it's, I guess it's the goblin's turn again. The goblin is going to seem to panic. It's going to make an athletics roll. Nice. Was going to swim off this way. You do have an attack of opportunity if you want to take it, but that's your call.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
In 5e, is he allowed to use that attack to grapple?
I believe...
I'm pretty sure we figured out that you couldn't.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Flint would
be doing that all the
absolutely
time.
do that every time.
It's going to swim off this way and is going to take aim at this grate with its little pocket pistol.
So it does work underwater, too.
Seems to work underwater.
All right.
Or at least the goblin thinks it's going to work underwater. Yeah, it deals a massive amount of damage to these bars. They bulge outward. And he seems to be he's fiddling with it. He's waiting for his little laser gun thing to load back up again, and that's the end of his turn. Nomar.
I'm just gonna swim beside him.
Oh my god. You are ridiculous. For those of you listening at home, Nomar has insinuated himself in between the goblin and the bars that he's trying to open.
I'm gonna do the meet the Fockers, to point at my eyes, pointing at him.
Does that expect you to just fold your arms and start tapping your foot as you're floating in the middle of the water? We're doing something here. It's Moore's turn again. Peering down into the water, you can see where the old portcullis is. It's just, you'd have to largely submerge yourself to get at it if you were interested in that, or to look through and see what's going on with Nomar.
I have no idea what's happening down there, so I'm just going to stay up here. I'm not going into the magical water that wasn't there before.
Reasonable. Tinglenuts' turn. Tinglenuts, you are in a tree outside of the dungeon, begging the tree to protect you.
Biting me in the treetop. When the wind blows, the nuts will all drop.
Okay. Full action to sing yourself lullabies and huddle.
Yes.
Full round action.
Bonus action to weep quietly.
Oh, weeping is always a free action in my games. Goblin's turn again. The goblin's just he's get out of the way, waving with his hand. And he's going to come over to here. This guy, by the way, is floating at the very top of the cavern. And he is going to fire once again with his disintegration beam. Oh, he only deals 9 points this time. One of the at least one of the iron bars in it is almost entirely free. but it's still not quite enough to fit through. It is Nomar's turn once again.
I'm gonna start moving my arms, but not my mouth. But I'm gonna try to convey to him, like, we're in the middle of something here. What are you trying to do? What's more important than our standoff?
He's going to convey to you, he's like,
You have an unhealthy obsession with battle, and I feel like if we work together, maybe we can get out of here. But I need you to be a team player. We can kill each other later.
he conveys all of that with gesture.
Nomar's gonna continue floating before the bars.
Okay. More?
Yeah, I'm just going to stand here. I'm not going into the magical water.
Tinglenuts!
Nope.
Goblin. Okay, so the bad guy is the only one doing anything. Once again, I did not do that to you guys. You did that to you guys.
No, we did that to you.
You did that to me. All right, he loads up and he manages to blow that one bar completely out and another one partway out. And he starts trying to swim up this pipe right here. So you do get an attack of opportunity if you want it, Nomar.
Yes, because he is... Can I fit through the bar?
Yeah, you'd be able to fit through the space that he's made.
Okay. Yeah, he's actively trying to leave me now, more so than before. That's only a 14.
Just like Papa. Yeah, no, you That's so terrible. You clang the femur off of this guy's armor, but he manages to wriggle through, and he starts swimming downward. And after a moment, it seems like his swimming isn't really getting him anywhere anymore, and suddenly he starts tumbling end over end as though a current is actually pulling him downward. And you can see that there's like a downward slope to this whole thing. And very, very soon, you could hear like, just like kind of like as he disappears from sight around a corner.
All right, well, my turn, I presume?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit the switch. I assume it's also an off button.
You hit the switch, and it does lift the portcullis, but the water isn't going anywhere. And you can hear like the grinding sound of the portcullis raising, and more, you would see it happening. That's an action.
All
Don't
right.
do any movement.
Yeah, let's float back up to the portcullis,
Okay.
which I assume I can make it in 5 minutes or less.
Yeah, you can make it in 5 minutes or less. If you're not going to follow down that way, then I will say that you guys are out of initiative if you're just going to swim back up. So more, after a moment, you see, after this portcullis has gone up, you see this, the soggy figure of Nomar sort of clambering his way up the stairs and swimming back up to you.
Looking very injured, but, happy.
You would expect somebody under the water to be, like, gulping for air when he comes up, but he just kind of comes up and he just sighs exasperatedly. It's good. Like, it's all good.
Using Tinglenuts.
I'm sorry, were you asking me where Tinglenuts is when I was in a underwater battle with a goblin for the past minute?
Underwater with you, or?
No, Tinglenuts didn't come into the water with me. Although, does Tinglenut even need to breathe? That's
actually a good question.
Well, let's go and find him. He's probably outside somewhere.
So, it's 1 o'clock. This one shot is turning into a 2-shot, I think. Yeah, if it next Monday you would prefer to, we can pick up right here, because you guys are, I want to say you guys are probably about halfway through all this shit.
Sounds good to me.
Yes.
Okay.
Is Nomar's name a riff on Nomar Gassiapara?
Probably not. Probably not.
Okay.
No, it's a pun on the fact that he wants Nomar.
He wants Nomar?
No, Nomar Kanonfadas. He wants to free them, so there are no more of them.
Yes, first in, never out. That's their family motto.
The theme music has been Song of the Forest Folk by Vindsvept. You can find them on YouTube.